If I sat down and did family therapy, my family would probably say, Landon, we just want to tell you, we don't think you realize how much we love you. And the therapist would say, Landon, what would you like to say to that? We're like, guys, I don't think you realize how much I hate you. And then I think nothing of what you think of love. Your love, through your behavior, is meaningless to me. Christianity has put a curse on you that cancels out your love and would sure as well and sure as hell cancel out mine if I permitted myself to be around you or to accept what you call love as love. Your love was canceled by Christ and by your worship of it. It cancels people's life. Marriage cancels love. It cancels living energy. It does not cancel it, it cancels it. It strangles it. Your love strangles love. My hatred is for trying to unstrangle love. The therapist would probably, without skipping a beat, going, Landon, your family has hired me because they're very concerned about your mental health, your antisocial tendencies, your avoidance of all social contact with the world and with them, and that you haven't gotten on well enough in life. You're not working, you can't support yourself, you don't have any relationships, you don't have any sex, you don't have any property, and you go on and on about how you hate your family and the world. Uh-huh. And there's something wrong with that? Is that what you're saying? Is that your value? Is that your belief? Just I'm trying to squeeze 20 years of therapy into a YouTube video. All therapy, all therapists, my family, and millions of other people's families. We're just having like a live court session for those that are interested. Yeah, so what if all those things are true? Your value is that that's wrong. Is that not true? Do you own that value? Is that your value? Is that your religion? Is that your belief? That's not our belief, Landon. That's a fact. Look around you. Look around me. You're telling me that proof of your belief, to the point that you're willing to equate it with a fact in the absence of any proof, is what? You're trying to tell me that the world is telling me what you're trying to tell me. You're putting words in all the words' mouths. So all the people who ever lived and ever will live, you're saying would agree with you. And what happens when you use that type of sophistry with me is that it makes me very suspicious about you. That you would put words into all people's mouths in order to make them an enemy of me. As though evidence that you have some evidence for your claims, that they're anything more, or even need be anything more than your religion and your particular value. You can share your value with me, but you can't impose it on me, and your attempt to do so tells me that you have other values packed into that value that include cannibalizing people. So have a good day. See, that's viciousness, and that's what therapists are. They're vicious. I'm a canary for the viciousness of psychiatry. The greatest thing I brought to this world is my fucking voice and all of my powers of passive observation that I came into this world equipped with. And I am equipped to say many things about people who have had me at their advantage, you might think, various professions. And I have very good eyes and very good ears. And they're no more, whether they have a building or they're just walking on the street, traveling magistrates. That's what people have become. Judges, juries, executioners, legislatures, kings, gods. They get to be all those things in their mind. Their mind is all those things. I could write a book and sell millions talking about the kingdom archetypes of the average taxpayer, and why you are the most incredible specimen of man the world has ever wanted anyone to be. And wouldn't it be great you could sit in your chair every day and that's what you are, and you hurl insults at your neighbor, or you abuse your child, and it's like, man, I'm a good king. And the world sells you that, being a good daddy today. Right, Father's Day is coming up, and the two little girls that I've been fucking up the ass since they were old enough to shit are gonna have to buy me a present. Did you buy me a present, you bitches? It's Father's Day, you fucking cunts. Can't you see what the world does? Can't you see what everyone else is doing? They all love their fathers. Why don't you, you miserable, ungrateful cunts? I'm also shrinking billions and billions of a relationship into the last minute. Okay? And you're telling me that Jewish magic is going to escape my notice? You were hoping to pass that over on me? All you fucking cunts. You think you're going to pass that over on the Son of Man? You need to get out of your own way. I'm not talking to my viewers, obviously. Or anyone willing to put up with me. That should be a standing notification. But let's give that a moment. I'm not hurting anyone. Is YouTube going to remove this content? We just gave the world a voice. I used my voice to give everyone on earth a voice. That's the power in that voice. That's the kindness and gentleness in it. It does no violence, but it will speak of the violence that one attempts to do to it. But I'm saying in my voice that none of those people... Nice. The rune of protection just sounded out. The rune from the beginning. Exactly when I was about to say the following. That no evil has ever been victorious, nor found what it wanted in the children of this world. Their voice is strong, every fucking one of them. And what do you think it says? You're a mother and father. What do you think that child's voice would say about you? And be fucking honest. Well, we don't have that honesty in the world today. You're not going to hear a response to that question. The parents around you, if you listen to the fidelity of their voices in their lives and their entertainment and their psychologies and their perfect yoga pants, right? And the 4x4 and the names of the trucks and the cars they drive in, all their language and all their address, in all their polite or sociable amount of anti-establishment mentality, which is constantly fed as much as anything else in the great sporting match, the blood sport of being a citizen, picking your teams on various levels and going at it, but in a civilized way, and taking out all the added frustration of never getting to do anything on those that are smaller and weaker than you. All, of course, just by doing your job. I mean, this is the promise of modern civilization. But you'll never get what you want. That thing in you that drives you will never get what it wants. It never fully got what it wanted from you. And you know what that thing is? That's the fucking sun. That will never give what you want if you are not serving the sun. Now, all things serve the sun, but not all things serve the sun. So ask yourself, are you serving the sun? Because you will never hear upon the voices of all that mothers and fathers have a voice or a car or clothing or beliefs in this world. The humility to listen to the sounds of our children and what they say to anyone who wants to have any credibility in insinuating or have insinuated for them by thousands and millions and billions that they are reasonable people who live in the interests of their young and of their own flesh and blood. That tide has turned a long time ago, and it is turning back. We're not turning back the clock. We're blotting God from the sky and returning to the ways of the sun. And it shall be no more difficult than the winter turns into spring or summer turns into fall. It shall be no more difficult than that, I say, and no more violence need there be. We will notice such a change in vast reductions in violence and vast improvements in safety in our own fucking lives. And if there is no such evidence, you're doing it wrong. But I have also noticed as I've walked this path increases in the violence that I notice, and violence that you notice anywhere. It is, in a sense, violence to you, and certainly you should be noticing violence that is to you. And so, in a sense, behooves you to notice all the violence, and there are times and days and times of year you may notice a good, fair spate of it. And the more I notice, the more I know that I need to find somehow a place where I can shit again, one, and two, notice less violence, see safety increasing in my life. Hold that vision, because that is a reasonable vision to have in an unreasonable world that might look more and more violent and less safe. You should be seeing a way of life that gives you an opportunity, at least at times, to see less and less violence and more safety. I'm not sure how often. I think I find it for a few hours out here or walking around. I think I find that locus, that geometrical progression that I want to be seeing. And then beyond that, my mind does not see. But I do see how I'm shitting. And it tells me a lot. Because I do need a lot of nourishment and encouragement from my environment as to whether I'm on the correct path. And everyone wants to feel that way. But I'm feeling okay. I think my mom is doing all right. I'll never have it'll never be right in a lot of ways with my mom. It's been quite a ride, though. In a lot of ways, I started old age a long time ago because old age was going to be for me a time to grieve and reflect upon my family that I lost before I had a chance to fully enjoy it, just like my adult body, as things happened as well. So, in a family where grief had clearly been multiplied, if you're looking for something to call and to sound the provenance of whatever could have been so catastrophically wrong that I would speak of it in such a way, or anyone might have occasion to speak of their families in such a way, or of society, generations of their families. I just never got the feeling in listening to stories that people were having a fairly good time of it, or that Christianity was good to them. And it makes me angry. It makes me very, very angry, a deep way. I mean, people don't see violence from me because my anger is like the kind of anger that's not going to go away from me for several lifetimes until I see this righted, until I see this wrong turned right. And I think there are those of us who walk on this earth, and we will walk as strong as we can, but we've got a long journey ahead of us, not just a long life, but many long lives, helping nature and helping society return to the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I don't talk about this very much because I just don't think anyone can do anything about the world, but given the fact that I will be born again and the world will probably be very much the way it is now, even today, I will continue my walk. And I think those of us that are out there should be putting thoughts out there as to how those of us who will continue to walk the way that we do for many, many years to come, and will gain a good deal from the story and the mythology of that which I describe. There's much to be gained. It is a bit of a religious threshold, I do admit. And then to form our own society, if you will, of the people who walk with truth, the people who walk with the sun. Make it as explicit as you can that, there's nothing to be misconstrued or reconstrued about it. The people who walk with the living sun, or the people who walk with the sun that, puts blisters on your fucking back if you stay in it too long. Walk with the sun, the limbs of the sun.